Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Ghost Rider Vlog. Today we are looking at Marvel Spotlight number 9, and once again, we're going straight to the cover first. That's actually a really damn good cover. We see some more Native American type people. We see essentially Snake Dance's group as they're preparing to apparently sacrifice Roxanne, and I will agree that a lot of this does happen. However, I think the snake here looks a bit more like a T-Rex, and it doesn't in the actual comic. It looks more like a snake like it properly should. Still, pretty good try. Nice job. Got most of it right. And it's definitely a possible scene from the comic, just that, of course, they're not going to render it the same way inside the actual comic. Anyway, plot synopsis for this particular book. We left last time with Johnny Blaze falling down into the canyon as Ghost Rider. He definitely hits the ground from such a height that it would kill any normal human being. The Indians have their little powwow of happiness, and Roxanne finally shows up the next morning looking for Johnny, only to find out that nobody can find him. She figures out very quickly that he must have gone to the canyon to have a look at things. However, she's sent there with Silver Cloud, who again betrays our main characters. He ties up Roxanne and takes her to the reservation, which is near the canyon. Very late into that afternoon, Johnny Blaze finally wakes up, and he comes to the realization that he is somehow saved. To which he has another vision of Satan, who then tells him that the only way Johnny's going to ever die is by his hands, because if he ever dies, at least to mortal hands, then Satan can't claim his soul. So not only does he have the powers of Hellfire with the Ghost Rider form, apparently he cannot die because Satan doesn't want to allow that to happen. So essentially he is immune from any and all damage, and that includes literally falling off a canyon and crashing. We also see later on that even though he crashes his bike into a cement wall, he still gets out of the flames as if nothing ever touched him. As I kind of hinted at, he manages to get a helicopter ride back to the rodeo show that he's supposed to be a part of, does his bike show there, to which he ends it with a crash, but also, since he finally got his last trick out of the way, the next thing he does is stomp off, but he stomps off towards Silver Cloud and starts demanding some answers, to which he does tell Johnny where Roxanne is. So, still in rider form, he runs off to the reservation as quickly as his bike can carry him. However, he is too late to stop Roxanne being bitten by two snakes, which are poisoning her. Originally, Snake Dance was going to use this as an attempt to try and kill Roxanne and try and force the Indians into more of his mind gameage to try and fight off anyone who would try to take, quote-unquote, their land from them, even though technically the government still owns it. Although he swears up and down that the government gave them the rights to it already. I don't know. I don't know whose side to be on with this, but I will say that the Native Americans do kind of have a right to be quite a bit pissed. Especially if their kids are starving with empty stomachs and the land that they're supposed to have isn't actually given to them. But you don't go to this kind of extremes, dang it. Anyway, as Ghost Rider, he obviously, Johnny is still in full control, obviously, and he also is very well aware of the fact that Roxanne has been poisoned, and that he needs to kind of stand up and make an example of this. So he literally obliterates the entire area where they were having this sacrifice with Hellfire, and warns them that if he has to come back because Roxanne is dead, that it's going to be only the tip of the iceberg that they're seeing right now, and he's going to come back with a vengeance. It ends with Snake Dance saying that he could possibly help, but Ghost Rider once again threatens him back, essentially saying that he's going to try and take care of Roxanne himself, but he will be back one way or the other, and that he doesn't trust Snake Dance at this point. Oh, my. Definitely a very action-packed story. We get to learn some more of Johnny's new abilities as the writer. We have now set up the fact that he is more or less invulnerable. He can be heavily harmed and damaged, but he won't actually die. And also, when he shifts between forms, he permanently heals everything. So when he woke up as Johnny, he was only slightly bruised at best, whereas the Ghost Rider was probably pretty heavily mangled down there for a while. But again, isn't allowed to die due to Satan. Also, again, we kind of got a little cliffhanger here, as we're going to have to wait and see what happens to Roxanne, which means I'm going to be reading at least one more book tonight. So I'll be doing 3 books a night for 2 days in a row. So I'll do this last book, and then we will see where we end up with the next episode. So I will see you all again in number 10. Good night.